Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Well, we're facing more and more weirdness, you can say, that's happening in the world, craziness. But this is the time that we know that many things are happening and many changes will happen and many things we're going to experience that maybe we've never experienced before. It's very true. Because the subjugation, the limitation by those who want to assume that power, you can say, over the world and over people is what this Kali Yuga is what we knew was going to happen in this age, and we can see it as we are living. And that's the difference between what I've talked about a lot about subjugation versus liberation, and that we are here to be liberated, not to be subjugated. We are here to be able to express our freedom, our equality, our rights that we have, and not feel that that's being taken advantage of. But we're in that time of this phase of this time of humanity where that is surfacing. And when this change is happening to that degree, and we know what's going to happen because it said after this Kali Yuga, what happens, we go back to the Sat Yuga, to the true age. So there are four basic ages that we're taught within the Sikh scriptures. There's four ages, which is the Sat Yuga, which was the age of truth. And then the age, we call that the Silver Age that came after that. Then we have the Dwapar, which we called the Iron Age, and then the Kali Yuga, which is now what we call the Darker Age. So in these four different ages, these four time periods, different things were happening. And as we come into this Kali Yuga, into this darker age that we've been facing now these last 2,000 years, most prevalent in these last 2,000 years, has to come to that end. And the Sat Yuga, that true age, has to emerge again. So this is the teaching. Similar, the Mayan teachings, I said that Mayan calendar ended in 2013. That Mayan calendar came to an end, but it didn't mean the world came to an end. It meant that after that period of that, a new period would be starting. And so as the Kali Yuga is getting darker, there's also the emergence of light. And we have to focus on that light more than anything else today. Focus on the light. Focus on what those changes are that are coming. Focus on spreading a message of peace to the world. Focus on standing up for the human rights of all people. And really that's what we're here for. We're pioneers of this time, to be a voice, and not to be afraid to be a voice. Wherever we can be a voice is so important. Spread that message of peace, of tolerance, of acceptance. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he came to this planet just over 500 years ago in the time of this darker age as one messenger of a message of truth, of peace, of the liberation of humankind and the liberation of the human spirit. And that today is so important that we reflect that same kind of courage, as there's been other teachers who have come and other leaders who have come to spread that message of peace. And we have to become that messenger of peace. And when we make a commitment to that, then we dedicate that part of our life to that and to spreading that message. So we have to look inside ourselves a lot also to understand that and come to that within ourselves and not have any fear around what that means. And that's why in our way of life, in a spiritual way of life, because we are spiritual people, we meditate, we go deeper within ourselves, we feel what the essence of that is, we trust in that which created this creation, and we have a practice that supports that, so that our physical, mental, and spiritual health is strong. That's the radiant spirit, the radiant soul, that we become that within ourselves through our daily practice, through our sadhana. Our sadhana, our daily practice that allows us that opportunity to tune in, to become centered, to understand what the ebb and flow of the world is, to feel our connection to the universe, and to never lose that connection to the universe. Never lose the connection to the universe. That's what liberation is. Liberation is that every human being has that right of purpose to feel that they can become part of all that exists in the physical form and into the infinite form. And through that be respected for who we are, what we practice, what our rights are, and how to live a peaceful life. There's enough in this world that all of us can live in that peace. But we're facing, you could say, an uphill battle for sure, because we don't hold those reins of power, but that power has always come from the strength of the people. And we are the people, and we have to show that strength and not be afraid. There'll be threats, yes. There's going to be more problems we can see with military, all that's going on, yes, it's very true. But our voice is powerful. We have people are powerful, and that has to make the change. And we have to show, especially our younger generations and next generations, that we have that fearlessness. We say in our faith, nirbo nirver. Have no fear, be against nobody. Be universal. Ekonkar means there's one creator that created one creation. We're part of that creation, of that oneness, and that oneness of that creation lives into the heart and the soul of each and every one of us, because there's no separation. And that's that liberation of that truth within us. And that keeps us focused on what that mission is. Everyone brought to this planet has a mission, and that mission grows as the world grows. And we have a mission to help others, a mission to help save this planet and save our Mother Earth, to work for that. And it means that even if we touch the person sitting next to us a little bit, that we share just with that little bit, or we want to share in a big way. But every candle lights that other candle, and that message has to be strong. And we have to be secure within ourselves to spread that message, and we have to be strong within ourselves and relaxed within ourselves to understand what is happening and not react, but act in the situation, act in what's happening, learn to act and spread that message of truth. Truthful teachings, truthful living, truthful understanding, and that comes from me. I have to, within my own self, feel, where is that truth? Where does that truth live within me? Where's that vibration of that Satnam, that true identity of the self exists within inside of me, that true identity of that Satnam, that can be projected to the world. And if I feel that ease within myself and confident within myself in that truth of that understanding, and honor every person and the sacredness of every person and the sacredness of every creature and the sacredness of the Mother Earth and every plantation, everything that exists. In that creative force, and to see the creative force of that creator who created everything exist within it, everything. But I need to make sure that my electromagnetic field